Welcome to the February I-10 Connect informational meeting. I'm Jennifer Wright for the Texas Department of Transportation. It's Tuesday, February 2nd, and we have lots to report. This morning, folks are feeling the effects of a new direct connector ramp opening from US 54 South to I-110 and the Bridge of the Americas. As with the ramp that opened from I-10 West to the Bridge of the Americas last month, once you're on this ramp, you are headed to Mexico. There are no exits past that point, and the only recourse you have if you do not want to go to Mexico is to make that last-ditch U-turn at the customs facility. Here to talk with us about it is Martin Bartlett from Barracuda PR, and behind the scenes is Joe Nahara, making the magic happen. We are without our engineers tonight, so if you have questions, we will do our best to field them. And if we can't answer anything, we will get back to you with an answer. You can ask questions via Facebook while we're live. Email us at i10connectelpaso.com. And you can find out more about the project, sign up for text alerts and our newsletter at i10connectelpaso.com. Take it away, Martin.
Jennifer, good evening. It really is kind of an exciting time because for many months during the course of these meetings, we were talking about things closing, but we are really hitting our stride with a lot of things opening. I think each of the last few months we've been together on the first Tuesday of the month, we've had some exciting good news to report about ramps opening. So we'll go ahead and get into that here in a little bit, but just want to kind of begin with some high-level information that we always like to begin with just to get folks oriented if they've not joined us previously. And as Jennifer was mentioning, we are live. And so, once upon a time, we were having these monthly meetings in person. Of course, that all changed in March of last year, almost 11 months ago, but we are virtual, but we want to actually have a meeting. So if you have questions for us, post them on Facebook, send them via email, info@i10connectelpaso.com. We will do our very best to get them answered for you live on this meeting. If we can't get you an answer, as Jennifer mentioned, we will get you an answer via email, or rather get you an answer before all is said and done. We just got a comment from Jerry noting Ramp E, which if you follow this project, Ramp E is very important, and we will kind of explain more about what Ramp E is and why it is changing its role here in a little bit. But so moving into some basic information about the project, of course, as Jennifer mentioned, I-10 Connect is a project of the Texas Department of Transportation. SUNT is the general contractor on the project. Consor is providing inspection services and construction management. KCI Kennedy Consulting actually did the design, the hundreds of pages of design, and Barracuda Public Relations, the local firm for which I work, which is working for TxDOT on the public involvement component of the construction phase of this project. So let's get into the numbers on this project. A $96 million project. Construction began February of 2019. So we are 2 years into this thing. All told, though, 3 years were allowed for completion of this project. That's kind of a worst case scenario. So we have really been through a lot of the worst of this project, and there is light at the end of the tunnel as many of these ramps begin to open around the project. So let's take a look. We're flying high above the project right now. This is something that we have shown on many occasions that looked like just a rendering, but now a lot of these ramps, the ones shown in blue, are coming to reality out there in the real world. The blue ramps you see are all new or replacements of existing ramps. So again, we're looking south right now at this vantage point. What we'll do now, take a jaunt further south. We're now looking north from over the Bridge of the Americas. As you can see, a reconfiguration of the interchange there at I-110, the freeway spur leading to and from the Bridge of the Americas and Paisano Drive. As you see there, no access from Paisano to the bridge, no access if you're coming on I-110 to Paisano. As Jennifer mentioned, we're in that permanent alignment now where if you get down south of Interstate 10 heading to Juarez, there's no more opportunity to bail out at Paisano if you want to stay in El Paso. What we're going to do now is take a look at some of the work which has been underway overnight last week. While you were fast asleep, the men and women of the project were out there doing some things to make it easier for you to navigate. So as you saw, nearly 80 of those guide signs going up all around this project before all is said and done. And the reason is because the way you move around the Spaghetti Bowl is changing. You know, for years we've all driven through the area. We knew it like the back of our hand, but it is changing. And those new guide signs, especially those on US 54 coming southbound, incredibly important now, because there you see in yellow that new direct connector from southbound US 54 to Juarez is now open. That's the ramp that opened this morning. And it means you have to make your decision if you're on 54 about, do I want to go to Juarez, well north of where you've ever had to in the past. As Jennifer mentioned, when you're following that new ramp highlighted in yellow over I-10 down towards the Bridge of the Americas, no access to Paisano. Also, if you don't take that exit off of 54 and maybe continue south thinking you'll take that old turn there near Zavala Elementary, that ramp has been permanently closed. We have a little bit more information now, including a driver's eye view of exactly what the new configuration looks like at the Spaghetti Bowl.
If you travel from Northeast El Paso to Juarez, the way you get to the Bridge of the Americas has changed. This new direct connector ramp linking southbound US 54 to the Bridge of the Americas is now open. Here's how you get there. As you're approaching the Spaghetti Bowl on southbound 54, get in the right lane. Then keep right to enter the new ramp just north of I-10. You'll be carried across the freeway and directly to the Bridge of the Americas. All traffic using the new direct connector ramp must travel to Juarez. There's no access from 54 to Juarez. There's also no access from this ramp to Paisano. Westbound traffic on I-10 also has a new direct connector to Juarez that opened in January. A new direct connector from eastbound I-10 to Juarez is still under construction and is scheduled to open later this year. The new ramp also means changes if you use this ramp to get from central El Paso to Juarez. This on-ramp from Gateway Boulevard South to US 54 at Yandell will remain open. However, because ramps have been reconfigured, it places you on US 54 too far south to get to Juarez. To get from Gateway South to the Bridge of the Americas, enter US 54 at Pershing and follow signs to Juarez. Stay up to date on future changes on the I-10 Connect project by visiting i10connectelpaso.com. For the Texas Department of Transportation, I'm Jennifer Wright.
So again, big changes as part of this project. And we know the really big question for so many people, how do I get to the Bridge of the Americas? So we're going to break it down. We showed you in that video, but we're going to break it down piece by piece by piece, wherever you're coming from. So let's say you're on westbound I-10. So heading from, say, Cielo Vista Mall towards downtown, and you'll want to go to Juarez. Good news, not a lot of change there. What you're going to do, take exit 22B. That's the US 54 exit. Like you have for years and years and years, and then you'll head towards the top of the ramp and keep left to Juarez. This is a new ramp that Jennifer mentioned that opened within the last month. It'll feel a lot like what you're used to if you're coming from westbound I-10 to get to Juarez, but again, some new concrete that you're driving on. Okay, so that's coming in one direction. Let's turn it around and go the other direction, eastbound I-10. So coming from downtown El Paso, heading out towards the airport. How do you get to the Bridge of the Americas then? Well, you'll stay on I-10 because the ramp you would usually take is under construction. So stay on I-10, head to Trowbridge Drive, turn around, head west on I-10, and then you'll use exit 22B following that detour or following that new ramp as we mentioned. So for I-10 headed east or west, you have to make that approach to the Spaghetti Bowl on westbound I-10 and follow the signs to Juarez. All right, here's what changed today from southbound US 54. This is the big change. You now have to make that decision. Am I going to Juarez north of I-10? So you're heading on US 54, coming from Fort Bliss, coming from the northeast. You'll make that decision at exit 21B. It's marked as I-10 West, San Antonio, Juarez on those new signs that just went up. Follow the signs to Juarez by keeping right, and then you'll be directly connected high over US 54 high over I-10 rather to get directly to the Bridge of the Americas. All right, now this is what Jerry was talking about earlier, our commenter, Ramp E. We know a lot of folks use that ramp. You saw it in the video from Gateway South to US 54 at Yandell. It's kind of a back way into the bridge. That ramp will remain open. But again, don't forget, you've now got to make that decision. Am I going to Juarez way, way, way back there on US 54? So you can get to 54 via that ramp, but you can't get to the Bridge of the Americas. So if you're on Gateway South and would like to get to the Bridge of the Americas, enter US 54 at Pershing. Don't try it at Trowbridge. Don't try it at Yandell. Both of those ramps are open, but they will not get you where you want to be if you're heading to the Bridge of the Americas. So we know that is a really big impact for a lot of folks. And it's going to take some time, I think, for many of us to change our habits, which we have had for many, many years. So just remember that all of the big permanent green overhead signs that have just gone up are accurate. So follow those, even though they may ask you to do something that doesn't feel quite right. So those are some of the big changes that have gone in, but we also want to continue talking about some overnight closures and kind of smaller things that we have that are impactful as the project continues. We will have major nightly lane closures each night next week on both westbound I-10 and US 54. So these are those closures that run from, say, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., both on westbound I-10 and northbound US 54. This is all about moving that safety concrete barrier that you see. Whenever we have a big change in traffic configuration, crews have to get out there and move those sticks of concrete barrier, and they are big. It is not something that you just back up a pickup truck. It involves a crane and a lot of time. So that's why we'll have those major overnight closures on I-10 westbound and US 54 northbound next week. So of course, we always say the best way to avoid getting caught by those closures is to sign up for text message alerts. Whether you have a 915 number, a 575 number, a 656 number, whatever area code you're in, we can send you a text message in English and Spanish if you go to i10connectelpaso.com and sign up for text alerts there. Also encourage you, if you have any questions about the project in general, and it can be just as simple as, I'm going from point A to point B, can you help me navigate through? We actually got one of those calls earlier today. Give us a call, 855-463-1010. We're happy to kind of help you navigate as much as we can, because we know there have been a lot of changes and will continue to be a lot of changes. Of course, failing all of that, join us on Facebook, Twitter, and the project website, i10connectelpaso.com. And we are back here 1 month from tonight, the first Tuesday of every month, Tuesday, March 2nd, 5:30 p.m. right here on i10connectelpaso.com and on Facebook. Jennifer.
Thank you, Martin. Great points you've made there. It is hard to change these habits that we've had for decades, and apologies to folks out there who've used that ramp E that you could sneak on just past Yandell, and it basically was a shortcut to get to Mexico. So sorry that's gone away, but the object of this new project is to allow a separation of traffic that is headed to Mexico from traffic bound for Loop 375 or Paisano or 54 somewhere else, because that Mexico bound traffic does tend to back up and not allow other traffic bound for another location to get by. That's why we've moved that back, and that's why that entrance ramp that is too far south now of where you need to get on in order to access that bridge over to I-110. And that bridge is, of course, the very high bridge that we saw going up over I-10 over the last few months. Again, this project started 2 years ago this month, and as a 2.5 to 3 year project, we think it's going to wrap up closer to the 2.5 year mark, and we expect this project to be appreciably completed maybe within the next 6 months. We think by the end of summer, this will be a wrap, and we're really happy about that. And the benefits you'll see from having longer ramps, meaning additional vehicle storage as you're headed to the 110 versus 375. And then the direct connects, of course, to 375 we haven't had before. The benefits of that will far outweigh the inconvenience to the drivers who loved Ramp E. So for that, we're sorry. I guess that's all the good news that we have for you this evening. again, as Martin said, you can stay up to date by visiting i10connectelpaso.com and sign up for text alerts, sign up for the newsletter, and as always, follow us on Twitter. Have any questions come in via Facebook?
Not as yet, but I just want to take my hat off to commenter Jerry for being able to know those ramps by letter. One thing we probably do want to remind folks about is that we focus so much on work in the Spaghetti Bowl area, but there is still a lot of work going on down along Paisano. Of course, Paisano remains closed to east-west traffic between approximately Boone and San Marcial. So we know that that's having an impact as well. But there will be some good news coming up down there too, of traffic no longer kind of waiting in line to get to the bridge, kind of backing up into neighborhoods around the Bridge of the Americas. So we're moving in the right direction.
That's right. And that Delta detour is actually pretty sweet. That's kind of an easy way to get around that portion of Paisano that's currently totally torn up. You can't see much of the work going on, unfortunately, from down there, but trust us, big changes are occurring on this project. If that's all that you have, Martin, that's all I have. You want to take us home?
Well, again, just a reminder, i10connectelpaso.com. Email us info@i10connectelpaso.com. We'll be happy to get those questions answered for you as soon as we can. And again, we'll be back here in exactly 1 month's time, the first Tuesday of every month on i10connectelpaso.com with your monthly update.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next month. For the Texas Department of Transportation, I'm Jennifer Wright.